what exactly is the difference between Delta-8 and Delta-9 anyway? Well, I'm going to quickly explain the difference so that you know next time you're making a THC buying decision. For starters, it's important to know that both Delta-8 and Delta-9 are naturally occurring cannabinoids inside the cannabis plants. There are two different cannabis plants. You have hemp and you have marijuana. They're both considered cannabis. These cannabinoids occur in both plants, so it doesn't have anything to do with hemp versus marijuana. It's the cannabinoid compound chemical component within the plants themselves. So my go-to analogy when explaining the difference between D8 and D9 to people is my orange juice analogy. So bear with me on this one. So I want you to imagine that we have two oranges. We have a D8 orange and we have a D9 orange. And our goal is to make a full glass of orange juice from each of these oranges. So I'm going to squeeze one, it's going to produce juice, and same with the other. Well, when I squeeze the D8 orange, it produces less juice. And that's because there's less naturally occurring D8 in cannabis plants. If I squeeze my D9 orange, I'm going to get a lot more juice in the glass because there's more naturally occurring Delta-9 in the cannabis plant, which is the main component behind the conversation around D8 versus D9, because a lot of the D8 that you see in the market is synthetic. And that's because if I want to make a full glass of juice, quote unquote, or THC in this case, I can't get as much in the glass because there's just not as much of it in the plant. So if I want to make more, what would be the best alternative for me to use to make it synthetically? So we don't know for a fact that all of the D8 product in the markets is synthetic. However, it's a really good possibility. And that then becomes the problem, because without regulation, we are not making requirements over what goes into the synthetic product. So now you have synthetic product out in the market that claims to be D8, but you don't know how they're getting that or what chemicals they're using to convert the compounds. And basically, it just puts a really big question mark out in terms of what you're ingesting in these products. So just to clarify, it's not really a D8 versus D9 and one's good and one's bad. That it's not about the cannabinoids themselves. It really comes down to the synthetic conversation. We are constantly in these conversations and everyone is pushing for regulation. So know that. I think for the most part, if you are shopping in a Total Wine or a Specs or a local grocery or liquor chain in your neck of the woods, they are self-regulating. So I want you to feel a level of trust. But I always encourage you guys to read labels and check COAs, which I will include another video on, so that you understand more of what it is that you are consuming. I hope you guys found that quick little education valuable. My name is Lee Gall with The Enlightened Buzz. I encourage you guys to hit subscribe and like this video. Please feel free to leave a comment or ask me any questions below. And thanks for watching. Bye.